those of you that don't know me, my name is Clara MacDonald. I'm a musician and an actress and a life draw model. Although I don't know if I'll still be a life draw model once I've come through the side of my treatment for cancer. On the 4th of December, just last year, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. And I was due to start chemo. I was due to start chemo on the 21st of January, which has gone, and I still haven't started chemo. I decided to delay my chemo. When I met my oncologist for the first time, I brought up the issue of fertility, and it was suggested to me to freeze my eggs so I wouldn't have any regrets. I was referred to the IVF hospital at the Rotunda, and overall I have to say my experience was actually not that bad. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this video. Having said that, I wasn't sure I was going to make the original video I made about having cancer. I just don't know what I'm going to be doing these days. I don't know what way my life's going to be. Hopefully this video might help somebody. I really don't want this video to trigger anybody, so if you find fertility issues very upsetting, maybe don't watch this video, although there's nothing graphic or upsetting in it, I hope. I'm vegan. Now I don't really consider myself vegan at the moment. I can just try be the best vegan I can be. I'm still eating plant-based. I try to wear vegan clothing and use vegan makeup, but I've been putting so many strange chemicals into my body and will continue to do so for the course of my treatment that I can't really say that anymore. On my first day at the hospital, I brought my best friend Danny. There was an espresso machine, so that was okay. That put me in a good mood. And I actually had an ultrasound on my first day. I didn't expect that, and I was happy to find out and see that I have 2 ovaries, I have a womb, everything's kind of there. I had quite a lot of ultrasounds, so I would be going back every few days, me going all the way up to Dublin from Carlow, and be seeing the progress on the scans of the follicles growing. I started on pills initially. After about 2 days then, I started on gonal F injections. Now gonal F injections were straight into my stomach, which was okay. I always thought I had a fear of needles, but I think a lot of my anxiety comes from not being in control. Luckily, I haven't been going to the gym too much in the last while, and my stomach does have a little bit of fat in it that I can grab onto, because I think I need to kind of inject fatty areas kind of below the belly button or around the area. Every few days, I did have to go to the Rotunda for ultrasounds to see how the follicles were growing, how everything was coming on. There'd be a little count done. And then I started on the cetrotide needles. Cetrotide, yeah, it was like a science experiment. So everything was in a little box. It had to be mixed around. One day, the needle head kind of just came a little bit loose, and it was still in my leg, and I realized I was plunging it down, and it was just stuck there. That was a little bit stressful. So a tip I will say is make sure the needle heads on cetrotide, if you're using it, are firmly on. I was told to keep these needles refrigerated, and they took up quite a lot of space in the fridge. Also, I thought it was going to be a big disruption to my life, because certain ones had to be taken in the morning, other ones had to be taken in the night. So what I did is I would put them into a freezer bag with a plastic freezable pineapple thing that I got in Tiger, and I brought that around with me, and I found that a little less stressful for me to do it that way. I'm sure they would have been okay to have carrying around out of the fridge for a while anyway. I didn't want to disrupt my life too much. I was out and about trying to do stuff, meet up with friends while having the needles in my freezer bag. And I did have to inject and shoot up in the unlikeliest of places. One place was the Bleeding Horse pub, which I'd gone to open mics in before, but never realised there's like a blue light in the toilet so people don't actually shoot up drugs in. So I had to use a flashlight on my phone and shine it on my stomach just so I could make sure I did it properly and didn't hit anywhere I had injected in before. Everybody's journey with this is completely different. I actually think some people might be on different medications and different injections as well. I'm not totally sure about that. But there are different side effects, some of them less severe than I had and some of them much more severe. I'm very lucky to say that I didn't feel nauseous or anything like that in them. I did have massive brain fog and total glitches with my memory where I didn't remember whole conversations taking place, which is a little bit worrying. But I am a bit blonde in the head. Although you can see my roots right now, I haven't been doing my roots in a while because I'm just thinking, oh, fuck it, I'm losing my hair soon, so why does it matter? When I was injecting this cetrotide into my thighs, there would be a lot of redness and it would swell up for about 10 minutes and then it would go back down. But my first time I was really, really freaked out. I didn't have really crazy symptoms. There was one that is almost a little bit funny, hormonal anyway as well. I did find myself strangely attracted to men that I wouldn't have been attracted to before. And I could find myself blushing, thinking, oh my God, am I imagining this person with less clothes on? This is really, really embarrassing. On the day of the operation, yes, there is an operation for egg retrieval. I was kind of knocked out, so I was fine. My dad was waiting for me. He collected me and we went for insomnia afterwards. I'm absolutely obsessed with insomnia. I've said that in videos before. Please sponsor me. That's a joke, kind of, not really. But yeah, the fasting before the egg retrieval, that was hard because I couldn't use the espresso machine in the hospital when I got there. I wasn't as scared as I thought I would be of the operation because I took a Xanax the night beforehand. This is something I don't want to totally get accustomed to, but it did help me. I don't want to discuss my result of my operation. I do think that everybody's journey is different, as I've said, and it can be quite hurtful and harmful for women to discuss each other's results with each other. I will say that I'm very happy and surprised with my result. There was a higher number of eggs found than I expected. The final part of my fertility journey for the moment happened today, which was I had Solidex, which is a drug that will be implanted into my stomach monthly. And what it does is it freezes your ovaries, protects them for the duration of chemo. But with this comes side effects. So my body will be put into an early menopause, which is a bit weird. I'm usually really cold all the time, so these kind of sudden flashes of heat over me, I don't know how I'll feel with this. Maybe it won't be too bad, we'll see. But I'll be talking about that at some stage, I presume. Now all of that fertility stuff has been wrapped up nicely and put away for the moment. I'm moving on to the next step, which is of course chemo. I'm not putting it off forever. It's going to happen on Wednesday, and on Monday I'm going to be getting the PICC line inserted into my body. I saw it today. It's a really strange looking apparatus, but you know what? Before the egg freezing, I thought, if I can do this, I can do anything. And now, looking at the PICC line thing, I'm thinking, you know what, if I can do this, I can do anything. And I will. I'm going to do chemo and I'm going to survive this. And if you're watching this and you were recently diagnosed with breast cancer, you know what, you're going to do it as well. You're going to survive this. Be strong, be positive. Thank you so much for watching this. And also thank you to everybody that's been watching my videos that doesn't have cancer and is just a friend of mine, or they're just following my journey. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Seriously.